with this pick. If he had played something like a tank here instead, the Hanwha Life Esports example, right, where you go for a Scion or an Ornn top here to lock things down with your already insane set of engage. You've already got Sylas on your team comp. Can be very strong, but now Birdall is going to have to manage his Narbar. Top side becomes a lot stronger for Peanut because he's got a great target up here for the Maokai when you're already going to be pushed in very hard by the Varus Ashe, very likely down on the bottom side, where Willer is going to try to be shadowing over there. Peanut now has opportunities to gank this Gnar top side, and then you have really great early team fighting with Renekton, Azir's ultimate. And once he gets that online, the skirmish power of Genji in the early game is very strong here before Sylas gets his Rod of Ages completed. So, yeah, risky call on the Gnar, I think, opens up a lot of possibilities here for Genji's early game.
I think it's going to depend on how much this Varus Ashe is. The more I think about it, Wolf, the more I feel like Liiv SANDBOX have really gotten a decent draft edge in this game.
I would give him like 55-45 here just because you have the Varus Ashe, right, and you know how strong that is. Sylas has been extremely difficult to deal with, and this is just the closer Aurelia power. Like, that he can play this pick. It's his best pick historically when he first came into the scene, right? That was the one he was most famous for. And you have to ban that so Sylas goes through. Sylas is much more meta and arguably much more well-rounded. Yeah. It feels really terrible if you're Genji. The Gnar pick is, though, where I'm like, okay, well, things could go wrong here. And it's also Genji, right? These players are veterans. They have more experience. They are the stronger team. And so, yeah, we're talking about draft, but how draft execution comes into play here, I think, is important when we are talking about these 10 changes.
The dislike of the Gnar bandwagon because it's Birdall, and he has really struggled in these melee versus melee matchups. I think that having a champion that will just always be able to team fight pretty well kind of makes sense for a player like Birdall, and it made sense for a player like Doran as well. Like, he has been one to do exactly this. They, of course, played together. Well, actually, no. That was a slightly different era, but Birdall was very recently on Genji.
Yes. I mean, they basically, like, right before Doran.
Yeah.
In the Rascal era.
They high-fived the doorway as they went there. To how it was going in the early game anyway, as Willa is going to... okay, first Smite battle won by Willa. It's a Happy Penguin from Peanut as Delight going to have to be healed. He flashes away. Envy's going to pick up first blood. And Genji already on the back foot.
Liiv SANDBOX, this team is so ready to pull the trigger, and all the time they're just setting up threats, and it feels like, oh man, there's this Gnar target up top side. Peanut goes for a gank. You get Closer's teleport, but he goes straight back in. He pushes a wave in. Now you're seeing Chovy utilize his, and such a bro, man. He's trying to flash to block. It misses, but you know what? You have to respect that he's willing to take one for his AD carry.
You got to do that.
Yeah, I mean, not perfect. Like, if we're talking about, like, insane accuracies. Oh, under turret!
Okay, yeah, Emperor's Divide going to come through. The arrow was soaring by as well, as there's Chovy's version of the ult. But the permafrost is there, and Chovy's just dead. Closer locks down that kill.
Atlas week of upsets continues, maybe, here in the LCK.
0-6!
Oh, that was so unfortunate for Chovy. Pushed into turret there, super greedy, and then doesn't catch Willer with his ultimate.
Definitely not counting their chickens just yet, though, as you could hear as Delight. Going to get caught out. Okay, maybe it's time to start counting, as Nature's Grasp is going to come through. Pace fighting against Envy, but losing that battle. Chovy comes down, though, and Willa will be taken down. Closer is coming, and Genji will need to be very careful. This is not a battle that they can fight, as a Nature's Grasp is picked up via the hijack.
Yeah, so it's a trade of kills here, and Chovy picking up one is very nice, but it's also a Varus picking up a kill, and Pays, can he stay under turret? That's huge if he can.
All right, well, Chovy is just going to keep some vision here, as Envy's going to walk it on out, as Kyle going to get missed by the last one, but I think the Sand Soldiers and the Deadly Flourish are going to be enough to pick that one up. Peanut, happy birthday, mate. Grabs his first kill of the game.
A little bit greedy by Liiv SANDBOX here with Closer coming down. They felt like, okay, we could stay, we could force Pays away from this turret so he can't farm anymore. Meanwhile,
yeah, Doran's in a bit of trouble. Oh no, is this handbag Renekton?
Might be. He's got Narbar.
That is a flash. Nah, the crush is going to come in, but he gets flashed. Doran is going to find the slice and the dice. He wants the fight, but I don't know whether he really should, as the wallop is going to miss as well. My God.
Birdall has PTSD from the last time he tried to kill a Renekton under turret, and he is going to walk away. You guys have been watching that in the Mad Movie. Any hardcore LCK fans who watch the Mad Movie when it plays every other match?
Hey, that's against the Lord, okay? That is a different moment.
Yeah. but it feels similar, doesn't it? Where Birdall is trying to commit, doesn't get the kill. Great flash from Doran. It's a flash exchange. But Liiv SANDBOX, despite overextending bottom side there and a kill going over to Peanut here, they're still going to group up faster for this Drake. They still got Silas a lot of free farming. He's 2 stacks already on his Rod of Ages. Just running out of cooldown on this one. But, I mean, the Silas is accelerated. The Varus is accelerated.
Peanut is not so accelerated. Shirley is going to pop out as Peanut's going to flash the wall, but that is another snare to come in. Chovy looks for it. There's the Emperor's Divide. Closer getting taken down low. Chovy's the first to die, though. And Gen.G, they don't have enough damage. They don't have enough people. There's no chance, and Peanut goes down. That is not the fight you wanted to take.
Yeah, Chovy with a really clutch ult there, but unfortunately, as you say, there's just not enough damage. This is all happening while Rift Herald crashes through, but Envy has Pays under a turret here, and so fair if they tried.
Well, Shirley is going to be the focus here for Gen.G. They're going to start this one off. Willa, let's see how that smite button's going, as a couple of turrets are going to dissuade him from getting on in here. There's a deadly flourish as well. The CC is certainly a big deal as it's secured by Peanut. Doran going to come in as well as the Nature's Grasp is now done with. We'll see what this Silas can get done as he misses the chains. There's a double Gnar though, and first the Renekton is going to go down. The bullets are raining as a deadly flourish will connect, but there's no follow-up. Delight's going to go far too far forward, and the Silas picks up a double kill. And Gen.G, I feel like this comp just doesn't have enough damage right now to follow up on all the CC options.
Yeah, it does not. I mean, they have the Liandry's. We like that. We like that build choice. You know, the Ghost Blade here for Peanut and Doran to get back to the fight. Liiv SANDBOX, low health bars, can't really commit or contest, even though they're really spiking right now on this Silas. This cannot actually force it to go. So Gen.G barely escaped disaster.
Oh dear. Turn. Well, Delight could be in trouble. Peanut's going to come on over. The arrow is going to miss, however, and there's the deadly flourish. And now I think they're starting to have the damage built up for themselves. Pays locks down that kill after the flash. You love to see it. I feel like they've worked it out, you know? They had a bit of a slow start, but now they're making the moves to finish off these kills. Flank angle doesn't have a lot of Naba, and also doesn't have a lot to fight for here. Outside of the Drake that's spawning in 5 seconds time, I tell a lie.
There's no real critical ultimates here for Liiv SANDBOX either outside of that Gnar to use for this fight. Ash Arrow and the Varus Chains of Corruption, but they're not in position for it.
Yeah, Hijack will be up very, very soon, as the arrow is going to connect onto Pays. He immediately uses the cleanse as Closer on the flank. Can Gen.G find a fight before he gets here, though? And the answer is no, as Pays going to flash to get out of the way of the chains. The Emperor's Divide going to be picked up. The Gnar is not massive, but the Emperor's Divide is! And Closer will tear them all up! He's going to bounce on top of the Renekton, goes golden beautifully, and Chovy is still alive. Can he get it done? Another Emperor's Divide! This time on the Gen.G side as he flashes out of the way of Envy, but Envy's going to have a flash of his own, and that is the ace for Liiv SANDBOX.
Liiv SANDBOX here losing a lot, though, not actually securing the Drake, and perhaps they can teleport back, or rather recall back and then grab Baron, but hard. Even this late into the game, to be respectful of it.
Another arrow going to come through. Wallop is going to connect onto Doran, though, as there is a double Gnar into the wall. Peanut the target as Nature's Grasp comes down. I don't know whether they should be focusing the Maokai as Doran jumps over. They clear out the Gnar, and Closer, he hits the air because Chovy goes golden. Now Delight is trying to fight him. He's trying to be the hero as the Silas is not going to fall yet. The Emperor's Divide pushes him under another turret. What do you need to do to kill this man? It's insane. In the meantime, Pays is dead. It's a double kill as the arrow is going to pierce right through the knee of the Heimerdinger. And look at this, they cannot get to them.
They cannot. They cannot. Chovy's Liandry's damage makes it so difficult to actually chase them down, but Envy's range is massive here, and with Pays down, you can just kind of kite back and do tons of damage even without the on-hit variation. Now for this Baron,
well, there is a teleport, there is a dream, but I don't know how much hope there is as there are bullets flying towards Willa now. This Baron is still very healthy, but Doran, not so much. He's going to slice, dice, flash, try and get out, but the Gnar is going to stop him, and Kyle will lock down the kill. Now Close is going to get Deadly Flourish. That's a lot of rockets in the shape of bees going into his back.
Baron is still very healthy. I think Gen.G absolutely can contest with this Liandry's on Chovy, and they actually kind of messed this one up, but it's the follow-up that you're, as Liiv SANDBOX at neither is okay.
Well, here is the fight onto Closer as the Jhin almost just dies from being close to him. I think that's what happened. The arrow is going to be flashed as there's another big Nah. Chovy's taken down the Ashe though, and there's the flash out from Willa. Closer, Deadly Flourish misses. With SANDBOX relatively low, and look at this. The Pigeon is coming in. Can he shift Sand enough in order to get over here and stop this? Conquering Sands comes in. There is Closer with the Zhonya's, and Chovy can have to do the same thing. Now in an awkward position, Doran is the one that picks up on it. Chovy, he goes down. Envy's going to get, oh, he flashes, and he gets out. Oh my goodness, this Varus is just insane right now, but insane. Genji are still alive.
Genji's still alive. Chovy goes down. That steal from Closer as well, getting the Thomas at the last second, barely surviving. He actually being alive. 8 Varus. That's the quote. That's what they say.
Yeah, no, I think that's a tattoo that I'm going to get later. As Closer might be in trouble, he is going to... okay, that's a lot of dividing by the Emperors being done here as Chovy is going to get a very high value Zhonya's, avoids a lot of Freljordian ultimates. And Willa going to be put at a safe distance, but now Envy's moving in. He's got the Chains of Corruption, they miss. So never mind, we got back away. And there's the Deadly Flourish. Will we see the follow-up? The answer is yes, finally! They managed to kill the Varus, but is that going to be enough? Because that's a lot expended now on both sides. But Doran, is it the Crocodile's time to shine? Kyle going to get taken down. Genji come alive, and it's just in time for Baron.
It seems like every single team fight that Liiv SANDBOX loses, it's by tunneling on one specific zone where all of that AoE damage, all of the Leandre's damage comes through, as this could be a disaster for Birdall. So much damage here with the TP coming through.
Is Willa alive?
We'll find out.
Well, Closer is alive as well. This is such a scary moment. Genji, please turn, for goodness sake. There it is. They pick up the Sejuani and take her down. Willa cannot smite from the grave. It's the hard counter to the Liiv SANDBOX playstyle as they just do a bit of a drive-by, check it out, see the Baron going down. So Liiv SANDBOX had to give it up.
I think Liiv SANDBOX on the other side to grabbing Inhib, so looks like Genji get a gold lead from this, get control of the map temporarily, but it's actually Liiv SANDBOX in the driver's seat, pushing now back towards the Soul for this Hextech as they push with the Varus in mid. And man, this might be the last fight of the game.
Yeah, I think it should be. 6th Elemental Drake. Could potentially be 7 if the game does go longer, but I think you might be right, Wolf, as Willa is going to start it up. He backs away immediately. The rest of the team not into it. As, oh my god, the Chains of Corruption, the piercing arrow. Chovy has to get out. Nature's Grasp flying through on the opposite side, and Chovy, he can't fight. He's still going to try to, but Closer will find him. And I think Closer will say goodnight to the game. It's a triple kill for the Silas. It is game over for Genji. And we are just living in Liiv SANDBOX land, I guess.
We are, and you know, I said they're second lowest combined champion kills right now. Well, let's add 35 in this game to where we're at. I think the stats are changing after this one. A 35-minute game, 35 kills.
Well, is it over yet? There's a... Never mind, there isn't a Renekton. Liiv SANDBOX will close in. The double dabs to come through here from Liiv SANDBOX as they trample Genji in game number 1 in the very end. Gave them a Baron to let them feel like they're having a good time, and then snatched away the Nexus.
Cool kids never panic, Atlas. There were so many situations in this game where it looked hopeless, it looked doomed. They defend the push, and with the last minute of Baron, Genji are like, we have to back and get set up for this, or not the Baron, rather the more important objective, the Hextech Soul. Genji back off and go, we got to reset up for this. We got to get back into mid, push those lanes.